dispatch business can seem overwhelming. But what if I told you with the right steps, you could be making $4,000 or $8,000 per month, even as a beginner? By the end of this video, you'll have everything you need to know about dispatching, from finding carriers, booking loads, and getting paid. What is a dispatcher? A dispatcher is someone that connects truck drivers with loads. That could be anything from Amazon, groceries, electronics, and so on, that need to be delivered. So your role as a dispatcher is to find the best paying loads and help carriers, also known as truck drivers, maximize the amount of money they can make. And the best part, you don't need any special certification. All you need is a laptop, good internet connection, and a cell phone, and a load board subscription, and you're ready to make money. But who better to break it all down from A to Z than my good friend Danielle, also known as the Dispatch Queen.
Hey guys, my name is Danielle, also known as the Dispatch Queen. I'm gonna tell you how I got started dispatching. I started off in the medical industry. I had a child who was ill. Dispatching allowed me to work from home and to still care for my child with his needs. I was able to make my first 6 figures working from home. I'm about to tell you how to start dispatching from A to Z. And if I can do it, you can do it. So let's dive in. All right, guys. So what we're looking at now is DAT. But let's break down what DAT is and how do we use DAT. DAT is a load board, also known as DAT load board. DAT load board will give you the opportunity to look at loads available, live loads that is available, also to see what brokers are out there in the industry. Not only can you book loads, but you can acquire brokers from the load board as well. So we're going to dive into which subscriptions I would suggest you guys use. Again, DAT load boards is for you to look for available freight, book loads, and to also create relationships with brokers. So let's dive down. Let's go down. Let's scroll down, guys, and see which subscriptions do I recommend. All right, so look at subscription 1. That's a $49 subscription. $99 subscription. I highly recommend the $99 or the $149 subscription. This is going to allow you to open up multiple tabs, also give you access to loads and not just a few loads. The $49 subscription, you won't have full access like you would with the $99 and $149 subscription. Now that you know what a load board is and why do we use a load board, let me walk you through how to book a load. All right, guys, so we're logged into DAT. We want to scroll over here to the left column, or you can go up to the top. We have a few features here. You can post your truck, which I highly recommend you posting your truck. That'll give you the opportunity for brokers to reach out to you. So let's say brokers have prospect loads that they want to book, but they don't want to post it on the load board just yet. They might search for a truck. So with you posting your truck, that gives you leverage to book loads that is not on the load board and also get first dibs on those loads. So brokers will reach directly out to you and you'll be able to, like I said, get first dibs on that. So let's go ahead and search for loads. We're going to click here. And what we're looking at, guys, I'm going to go to a previous search. So what we're looking at is DAT. I'm going to show you how to book a load. So the origin will be what city and state you're in or looking for a load to come out of. We won't get into these section over here too much. All these tabs, very valuable information, dashboard, search loads, search trucks, my loads. If you guys want a video about that, comment and we'll get you a video. All right, so deadhead, this is going to be how many miles you would drive to pick up a load. Unloaded, so you won't have anything on the back of the truck. Okay, so equipment type, put in moving van, put in straight box truck, put in van air ride, put in van or flatbed. And the reason why we're putting in vans, because a 26-foot box truck is a van, but it's 26 foot, it's not 53 foot. So we can still put the van in the equipment type. So van or flatbed, van liftgate, van hotshot, van logistics, van with team, van with pallet jack, van or flatbed with tarps, van with blanket wrap. So all of these guys will show you volume of the loads that are coming out. I do recommend you reading the comments for any special qualifications or any special information for the load. All right, guys, and then load type. I suggest you guys put full and partial load in there, and then 26 foot for the length. Most box trucks are 26 foot. So I recommend you put in that length or whatever length your truck is. You want to make sure you put in your capacity here. How much can your truck scale is what you will put in this tab here. And then the date range. This is just going to show you today what they have, and also you can extend that out if you want to see further days ahead. All right, guys, so this is just showing us the age of the loads. How long has these loads been posted? This is showing us the rates. Now, when you do not see any rates posted, you will need to call and inquire with their broker about the rate for these loads. Now, let's go ahead and look at a load. We're going to click on a load. That'll give us more information about the load. This load is going from Fort Worth, Texas to Lowell, Arkansas. It's 33 deadhead mileage for this pickup. It's coming out of Fort Worth going to Lowell, Arkansas. This is a 374 mile trip. This load is paying $400. $1.07 a mile. This load has been on the load board for 12 minutes, guys. Now, what days is this load available for pickup? It's showing you 314 to 317. Now, also, it's showing you the equipment. Now, you see that it says van, but also it says 11 foot. So that is another reason why I put in that extra equipment so that I'm able to see the higher volume of load. Now, some dry van loads will allow box trucks to pick up. In this case, this is a dry van load. I will inquire with the broker to see if a box truck can pick this load up. This load is 11 feet. It's a partial load. It will fit on a box truck. It's 1,000 pounds. This load is picking up March 14th to March 17th from 0700 to 1900. That'll be from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. And the destination is to Lowell, Arkansas. Again, I always recommend you guys scrolling down, just seeing what they say in the comment. Comment section says no Sprinter vans, no weekend pickup. So that lets us know, will they accept a box truck? Yes, they just will not accept a Sprinter van. So it's showing you the contact information and how you get in touch with the brokers. Over here is going to show you load type. I recommend you guys putting full and partial to see both, especially if you guys are looking to put partials together to maximize on the load. You want to make sure you're putting full and partial inside of the load type. Sometimes full loads are partial loads actually, but they're just labeled as full load. So just make sure you put them both in to see the higher capacity of those loads coming out. You want to put in your foot truck, which is 26 foot. Most box trucks are 26 foot. And then your weight, you want to put in whatever weight you can scale. The date range, you want to put in today's date. You can go further out in the range if you want to see what's available in the further days coming ahead. Now, the age of the loads. This section is showing us how long these loads have been posted on the load board. This section is showing us the rate of the loads. If you do not see a rate, you guys will have to call or email the broker whatever contact information they provide. This trip section is showing us the miles of how long the trips will be. This is showing us where the loads is picking up and going to. This column is showing us the deadhead mileage of how far we will have to drive to pick up a load. This column is showing us the pickup date. This column is showing us the equipment that they are requiring for whatever specific load. And then this column is showing us the company's information and how to get in contact with them. Putting partials together is simply as putting loads together that will accommodate the space on your truck. So let's see, what can we see? I see an Oakline, Illinois going to Spartanburg, South Carolina. Not a very good load. It is a partial load, only 5 feet of space. It is going 712 miles, so it would be a good prospect load, partial load. But let's see if we can find anything else good. All right, so I'm just scrolling down. Let's roll with the Oakline, Illinois and Spartanburg, South Carolina. So this load is picking up on March 12th through March 18th. The load is a partial. The truck they are requiring is a van. It's only using 5 feet of space. The weight on this is 3,000 pounds. The commodity of what you're carrying on for this load will be electric pallet jack. The contact information for the broker. So also remember to check the comments. The comments will give us specific information that they may require to book the load. So in this case, it's saying call or text Carlos. So when we're calling this number, we want to make sure we're calling or texting or asking for Carlos. This section over here, guys, is going to give us the company's information, which will be the broker. This is the broker's phone number, the MC number for the broker. Now, the MC number is very Very important. You want to take the MC number and check with your factoring company to make sure they factor with this broker. Factoring companies will give you your money on demand after running the load. So you want to get with the factoring company unless you have the capacity to wait 30 days, 60 days, or 90 days, whatever the pay grade is for that broker. So you want to make sure that the broker's MC number checks out with your factoring company. Make sure that they factor with your factoring company. This will allow you to get paid same day. So after you call this number, talk to the broker, make sure that you get all the specific information about the load and go ahead and negotiate a rate with that broker. Now, after negotiating that rate, you guys are going to accept the load. And if you are going to find another partial, then you will just continue looking for another partial that it will not go over 9,000 pounds actually, because remember our weight limit is 9,000. So we do not want to exceed 9,000 pounds. In this case, this partial is only 3,000 pounds. So we have about another 6,000 pounds that we can also put, and then another 21 feet of space to put onto the truck to capitalize on this run. So you'll be looking for another load going to the Spartanburg, South Carolina area. Let's just say we went ahead and booked this load. So now we have this Oaklawn, Illinois to Spartanburg, South Carolina locked in. We're going to go ahead and put Spartanburg, South Carolina in our destination. And we're going to see what loads is going to this area. So I'm not seeing any loads now, but you will still do the same thing or also just take this out and then go back and see what loads are going along the way. So go ahead and pull up your Google map, see what areas are going from Oaklawn, Illinois to Spartanburg, South Carolina, and then we will go ahead and book that way. I can actually make a video breaking down how to actually put partials together. Let us know in the comments if you want to see that video. How do we find drivers? Some ways to find drivers is to look on Indeed. You can make postings on Facebook. You also can go to truck stops, and then word of mouth is everything. Make sure you're telling everyone you know you're a dispatcher. What does an Indeed posting look like? An Indeed posting looks something like this. It's just going to look for, you're going to be posting about owner operator or whatever lane you choose to dispatch for. You're going to put that in your posting. You're going to tell about the pay, what they would potentially make. That will give them the idea of what you're able to make them every week, every month. And then the job type, the lanes, whatever owner operator you're looking for. Those are the details that you would post on Indeed to look for a carrier. Now, let's jump into Facebook. We will look on Facebook groups, try to find Facebook groups. This is a very good example here. There's someone posted, Isaac Lee says, looking for a carrier, preferably a 26-foot box truck or cargo van to dispatch for long hauls. Their requirements, you must be 6 months or older or above. Only serious inquiries, please. So you would just do something like that. Make a posting on Facebook looking for whatever carrier you prefer to dispatch for. So here are 3 mistakes to avoid as a beginner dispatcher. So you want to make sure you're verifying that the carriers are reliable. If you have bad carriers, you're going to lose work from your brokers. Also, carriers sometimes fail to communicate. You want to make sure that these carriers are communicating very well with you so that you can communicate with the brokers and keep them updated on the arrival of the pickup or drop off. Also, note keeping track of payments and invoices. You want to make sure you're just keeping a track of how much your drivers are getting paid, what you are invoicing them. So if you ever have to circle back, you will have that. And I would say use an Excel spreadsheet with all of your carriers, just keeping up with what you're making them and what they gross for the week, for the month as well. So how does dispatchers get paid? Dispatchers get paid from your carriers that you dispatch for. You'll invoice them, whether it's daily, weekly, after they run the load, you'll send over an invoice to them. You can charge anywhere from 8 to 15% starting out as a new dispatcher. So for example, let's say a truck, you make that truck $4,000 a week. You would take 10% off of that and you will make $400 for the truck. So how do we invoice carriers? We would invoice a carrier by using Square is what I recommend. You can also use QuickBooks, but I recommend Square. This is how an invoice would look. You will just pretty much put in your carrier's information. You will put in your information. You will put in the charges of what loads that carrier ran, what they made for each load, specify that. You will charge your 10%, 8%, 15%, or whatever you guys are charging that carrier. And this is what it will look like. Now that I've showed you an invoice, example of an invoice, you guys, it does not stop there. You guys can acquire multiple carriers to make those numbers go up each week. I was able to acquire multiple carriers to replace the income that I was receiving from my 9-to-5 when I was in the medical industry within just 4 months starting out. So guys, I was able to replace my 9-to-5 job and become a dispatcher, and you can do the same also part-time.
Now that you have the roadmap to start dispatching, it's time to take action. If you want more information, check out our free dispatch guide in the description below. And if you found this helpful, go ahead, hit the like and subscribe button, and drop a comment if you have any questions.